Hey guys. Um, yeah, Marcus lent us his shop for the night. So we've we've got live stream happening. Hi, 624 Dudley, g'day. Mark Osborne, hello. David Ian Sykes, g'day. Dan Shed, hey. Hope COVID's not getting you too much. Bill Baggins, g'day. Hope you're feeling better soon. Not much fun. Peter Noddle, g'day. You're all sick. Kim Bazalik, g'day. Adam Carmichael, hello. Paul at Necklace Workshop, g'day. Team Biscuits, hello. Kevin at Machine NZ, g'day. What's happening? Big day, actually. Big week. Crazy big week. It's all happening. Gearing up. What are we doing? We're gearing up to go away for a week down to Dan Shed to do some roller maintenance, repairs, rebuild stuff. Big orange rocket launched. Okay. So getting stuff together to finish this canopy. You've probably all seen it. It's got timber decked across the top and it's all painted. It's ready to go back together. But powder canopies, and a lot of canopies and things were either felted or canvassed or waterproofed in some way. Powder canopies were canvassed and then white leaded. So it was canvas bedded in white lead, then was the waterproofing and stops them going mouldy and all that sort of stuff. White lead apparently has anti-mold properties as well. So trouble is being you can't buy a big bottle, a big tin of white lead, and I'm really not as keen as I could be about applying it. So we're looking for alternatives, and there are a few people who have done canopies. I've seen a few in the UK that have been leaded and they look really nice, but there's a bit to it. So I found some canvas. This is like a painter's drop sheet from Bunnings. I really haven't had a proper look at it. I've got no idea where a pocket knife is here. We might need one before we're finished. Gonna have a look. It's not really a normal workshop. If you want to find a tape measure or a pocket knife or like a box cutter or a multimeter or a half-inch washer. None of those things seem to ever be here. So anyway, we'll open this and we'll have a look. So this is a heavy-duty natural canvas. We're going to put this over the top. Hopefully, should be pretty nice. Lead and gold are nearly the same. We could use gold. So you're going to staple that down, and we had trouble getting the T50 staples for my staple gun in stainless steel, but they're on order, so they'll be here too. So we'll stretch this over this stuff, I hope, which is Cromellen exterior grade waterproof. It's not a bitumen paint. Have a look inside it because I haven't yet. Probably need I don't know if this is a good idea to open this or not, but only about a week out from using it, so we might as well. Too late to open. Now, it's pretty thick, goopy grey stuff, so that looks all right. And they're supposed to go off and set like a membrane. Smells good. Smells like paint. Put all back together so it doesn't leak again. So they're supposed to go off and set like a membrane, and then we're going to stretch this over or iron it down in it or something, I don't know. We're going to get this nice and tight in it anyway. And then I managed to find a coat of exterior satin medium sheen exterior water-based paint that had been mixed up for colour, and someone wanted gloss by mistake, so it was cheap, which is Morning Rust Knox. And so that's going to go over the top of it all to bring it all back in. So that should be pretty good, I hope. I found some sander filler stuff that's pretty good. We've got to finish the sideboards. I've been having a bit of a rough sketch up of some lettering for the sideboards. I've got some sort of an idea what I'm going to put on it, but there we go. So that's progress with the steamroller repair. What else happened today? I got some mail. If you want to look, this is sort of a bit of a plug for something that's not paid content, but this is about as fashion label as I get, to be honest. New overnight bag, anyway, from this company, which is Rains from Denmark. I'm trying to get white paint all over this and bearing blue and stuff. But I've got a new overnight bag. I don't know if you can see that. Probably can't. It's got the Rains logo on there. This stuff, I don't know what it is. Don't know what it is really, but this is their product. I've got a backpack that I've had for 2 years and it hasn't seemed to have given up the ghost yet. So I'm really impressed with this stuff at a pretty reasonable price. It's got good fittings and it's waterproof. Like even the cover on the zip, if we zip this up, zip's all covered in. And nice fittings. Everything's nicely finished. Really like this stuff. Good quality, good feel, plastic and metal fittings. Anyway, if you're looking for nice bags and backpacks without sort of making too much of a fashion statement, that are really practical and good and strong and made out of nice materials and made to last at a price that isn't Louis Vuitton or Balenciaga, this Rain stuff from Denmark is really nice. Kind of a huge fan, actually. The new colours are a bit boring. My old backpack's yellow, bright yellow. That was last year's colours, and I really liked those. Or the year before, even a couple of seasons ago. These have got a bit boring, but this is Rain's. Really like it. Anyway, there's a plug. Something that I really like. One of my favourite things is Rain's bags and raincoats and things. They're really nice things. Not sponsored at all, but totally should be. Rains, if you're watching this, Rains, get behind me. Because I really like this. It's nice stuff. I'm going to, at some point, attempt to get this back in that bag. Fairly unhopeful about it all, but there we go. Amy Martin, g'day. Just Australian dollars. That overnight bag was about $180. Go down to the Nike store and see what you can get for $180. Or go to High Street and see what you can get for $180 in a Louis Vuitton or a Hermes shop. Or the RM store even. See what you can get for $180 at the RM store. That's exactly right. Rains probably isn't to everyone's taste. They're pretty straight up and down, monotone. Don't pay too much attention to their models or the image that they try to put over, but as accessories, they're fantastic here. Work in a shop that sees a lot of leather goods, things like that, and a lot of overpriced crap, actually, at work. You see a lot of that, but Rains is good stuff and good price. Bit of continental fashion in your life, and it's practical colour. It doesn't seem to mark much. I've got a bright yellow bag, which isn't a practical colour, and it cleans straight up again every time you do it, and it's pretty good. Right, you probably could have got a Makita bag for free if I bought enough stuff. That's right. Anyway, that's that. What's happening here? This workshop is actually clean. A little bit impressed with this when I walked in here tonight to do this video. Look at this. Look at this. How good is this? See this? Very impressed. I think Marcus is probably on some sort of, I don't know what he's on, but anyway, tonight he went all out. Hey, Paul. This wasn't like this when I left this morning. We have a Dean Smith and Grace dual room lathe in bits here, right? Haha, we'll get to that, Dan. This is nice gears, Dean Smith and Grace. These are all scraped together surfaces where the see the scraping? There's more scraping, English pattern or more scraping there. Where the apron sits on the saddle, that's all that is that's that surface is bolts together, and they're more pattern scraped. Look at that, just because you do. Look at all these now fancy oil ways that are all nicely machined, like fitted and soldered up. And hardened gears, all the gears are like induction or flame hardened or whatever around the outside. Induction hardened, I guess. This is quite a lot cleaner than it was. Had some issues with a few things, and Marcus is working on it to pull it down. See this place here where the half nut assembly or cartridge or cassette or whatever you want to put it, bolts on there. This is all more pattern scraped as well, because as you do. this bed's all hardened all the way through, so no way there's any scrape marks in that. It just is never going to happen. But Marcus is getting it back together. It's got some electrical issues, but he'll get there pretty quick. Got all these bits nice and clean and tidy. That one he hasn't started on yet. We'll have a look over here near the biax. If anyone's interested in this sort of stuff. This is the apron, it's upside down. There's some flaking and scraping going on. It looks like this has all been re-scraped over the course of today. And there's some flaking and scraping happening here as well. Whether he's going to turkite this and put epoxy down or whatever, I don't know. Or whether he's going to leave it as it is and just clean everything up and make sure it all marries together and gives it space for some oil. Anyway, it's coming together pretty good. He's pretty quick with this sort of stuff, and that's sort of what he does. So, yeah, scraping is pretty topical over on Discord if you're keen on all that sort of stuff. But Marcus does a course here in Australia, and he's pretty good at what he does. It's starting to come together pretty nice, and I reckon he'll have this together again in a couple of weeks, because this is what you do with your honeymoon. You got married last weekend, so apparently this is what you do with your honeymoon. Big biax scraper sitting there. Etc, etc, etc. So that's one of the projects that's happening here. Mills have been reshuffled around. I like this idea of having them on pallets and then having a pallet jack so you can slide everything around the workshop. I like that. Something under here. Oh yeah, it's Sacraments church on Sunday morning, all ready to go. Shape is all nice and clean again from last time we saw it. So gets a bit of work. And honestly, it's a machine that is quite capable of making a living with the right jobs. Brendan Gill's moving to Perth for 3 years. That's pretty exciting, Brendan. We're totally down with that. Are there any 5-inch gauge tracks there? Yes, I believe so. There's certainly some friends, some good guys, some friends of mine. It's not far away from here. Well, as the crow flies, you can fly over here and back in a day if you make it a long one. Speaking of new carbide scrapers, they're here everywhere. And I believe that if you're interested in getting one, Marcus has Sandvik stuff for sale here. But anyway, hit him up. Christensen Machine Works. Anyway, that's what's happening. There's other jobs that are sort of look like they're probably a process. Don't think that was here the other day. Something that someone's making. That Kearns HBM, little Kearns HBM, you can see that a bit better now. Everything's cleared away from it. So, yeah, we've talked about that before, but it'd be nice to see it going again. That's what Marcus is up to anyway. What am I up to? I sat my license again today, and I now have a bit of paper that says I can drive things. So that's kind of cool. There's a long, complicated sort of roundabout sort of a process to do that they made me part with another $1,000 or something for the pressure, which is a bit of a pain, but got there. Now I need one to say I can drive a roller. That's exactly right, Dan. We're working on that. It's a work in progress too. Got to get the rest of you all organised to enrol and stuff so we can get that underway. Give everyone a razz up about that this weekend or before. What else? I had a bit of a stuff up. I've got to find a multimeter. Somewhere in this shed, I'm sure there's a multimeter. You would almost guarantee that somewhere here there's a multimeter. I haven't got a clue where. But I broke the plug on my scooter on the charger. The plug come off. And it's got a red and a black wire, and I guess it's sort of critical on a battery charger which way around they go. But there's no marking, so I need to test the battery and see which way around the plug goes, and solder the plug up again tomorrow so I can charge my scooter, which is a bit of a pain, because even though I've got a license, and probably by the end of the week I might even have a van or a car or something, a van probably. There's a fairly strong chance that I will be fairly strong chance I'll be still riding the scooter to work because it's easier and quicker. Honestly, it's fun and it's fresh air and I enjoy it, and I really don't enjoy sitting on the motorway. Like that episode with Martha Jones and the doctor on the motorway in the sky. Very, very similar sort of feel to it. And it's cheaper too, and way easier. Anyway, here's Mr. John Creasy back from his trip abroad. Looks like he had an awesome time, pretty flat out. Went and did all the touristy things and some not so touristy things, and did everything in the UK. Bit jealous about that holiday, but thanks for keeping us all up to date on Facebook, John. Looks like you had an awesome time. So I guess the thing with the scooter is that I just have to plug a multimeter into it and see which way is positive and which way is negative, and mark the plug accordingly, and take it to work and solder the wires back together and run a bit of heat shrink on it, and put it all back together and bring it home and plug it in. What else? Don't know. I don't know if there's much else. I've still got a bit of paper and a pen. Plug it in at work just in case. Dan Biscuit says that's a very, very valid sort of a situation to present itself. That's a good idea. Bizarrely, I have a bit of paper. A more complicated set of events will be finding a pen. I've got a paper McDonald's straw. Should have brought my bag down here, it's got pens. Oh, well. I don't know, I could probably spend 3 weeks finding a pen, but anyway, I was going to do a bit of a sketch of how that canopy goes together so everyone's sort of on top of it. Hey, Matt. Wonder where on earth I would find a biro or a pen here. I'm not 100% convinced that while everything's tidy, that there's a place for everything. I found some soy sauce. No, we'll show you anyway how it all goes together. I'd really like some feedback on how the sort of the finishing touches work, or how I'm going to make it work. Morning, David. And I thought a pen would have been the answer, but I found a whole bag of chip brushes. No idea. And I've probably even got a proper drawing of it somewhere too, but that's put away in storage. Anyway, I was looking for a pen, but no real luck there. So what's everyone up to? There was a video from Bill, the final video for his knife build, the last one. Everyone's getting sick. There's a mill support video that looks like it's come to a pretty good conclusion from Rustanox. Dan bought some stuff today. He's at home sick, so he bought lots of stuff. I actually went to work and I didn't buy anything actually today. I paid for a license for 5 years and I paid my driving instructor a heap of money. Mark put a video out yesterday on the stuff from the Classic Car Show. I'll go and have a look at that. Adam Carmichael got some Allen keys from Havco. Peter Noddle watched the Big Orange rocket launch. Tea and Biscuit's got a new camera. Gosh, you guys are miles ahead. Art set up his little Myford to make some oil seals. Bill Baggins isn't feeling real bright and he slept most of the day, and good on him. James P. in the shed shop. G'day. James P.'s been to estate sales and markets. And buys a lot of stuff. Mark's garage is swapping the engine out in his truck. Snox was thought about Kent. Steam Toys Wide Weekend 2022. How do we find information about that? Might be fun to do something for that. I went to a collectibles expo in Brisbane on the weekend on Sunday for a few hours and walked around in the sun, got sunburnt. I'm peeling. Actually, I'm sort of getting an Australian tan again for the first time for a little while. Looks a bit red there, but it's not really. Went and walked around a collectibles fair. Didn't find anything that I wanted or I couldn't live without, so I didn't buy anything, which was I'm proud of myself for. I'm a member on the forum. I will have a look at that. Thanks, David. I probably need to go and update a couple of posts that I've got there on various topics. It's a very good forum, actually. Great guys. I did go to the markets the weekend before and I did buy something. I'm reluctant to mention it in a live stream because it will open a can of worms that I'm not at this point prepared to answer questions about, but there you go. Maybe at some point. Maybe one of these videos we'll do a video about it and we'll talk about it, yeah. But till then, not yet. A wonderful collection of stuff is really good. Everyone needs a collection of stuff. What else? I'm on the lookout for a van, so if anyone's got sort of a lead on a pretty decent van on the Gold Coast, a Hyundai iLoad, something like that, 2016, 2018, low mileage, automatic or manual, doesn't matter. If you've got any sort of clues of where I can buy one at the right price, hit me up because I'd be interested in going and have a look. That was a big yawn for me because I've had a big day. Went to work this morning until about lunchtime. And discovered I'd left some paperwork down here in the workshop. So I ended up running down here at lunchtime and running back. And then I did an hour's drive around and then a test and passed just with, how I passed I don't know. I'm a pretty crappy driver. Don't drive with me, anyone. And went back to work for an hour and sorted out some crap and got some orders and things sorted. I hope I got some orders sorted. I forgot to mention that. I hope it's done tonight. And couple of customers that have been screaming for stuff and keep ringing me, and I keep charging around saying, "Where's our order? Why hasn't it been done?" And no one's sort of got there yet. Might have turned up or called or something while I was out of the shop, so that's usually a pretty good way to get orders done for work. So let's fix that. So there should be an order there tomorrow, and it's going to be Friday actually, because that's a pain. Because if it goes tonight, it won't get out to lunchtime tomorrow, and then it's going to be Friday before the order gets here. So tomorrow might be a fairly relaxed day. We'll see. Anyway, then I come home. Sort of casting my eye about here, wondering where the multimeter might belong, because I'm sure there is one. I mean, you do a lot of shop electrics and things here, you would think. And I'm not supposed to mention the electrics in this workshop, but the condition that I film here is that I don't mention the electrics. So that's where I'm at with that. But they look like they're in a fairly constant state of someone actually doing something with them. So I'm sure there must be a multimeter. If I can just find 100 volts and plug it in and see if I get a negative or a positive reading, then I'll know which way around they go, won't I? But yeah, the used car market's sort of steadied up a bit. There for a long time over COVID, cars, especially vans, were through the roof, and you pay top dollar for not very much. Seems like the vans that have been listed for a couple of weeks, and they've all had price reductions on Marketplace and Gumtree, etc., etc., etc. So I'm going to have to go and have a bit of a look around so I can test drive stuff. That's what we're looking for. No electron cops. Yeah, I just wonder about plugging in anything. I replaced a light upstairs because we need the light. Marcus was getting married, and there were people that were coming to spend some time here, and there's no good up there making coffee in the dark, etc. And the 24-volt ceiling light sort of been cooked at some point. I don't know whether it's had water in it or what happened, but it had some black marks and some fairly missing tracks on the LED cub. It was a bit of a mess. So I did replace it, but the electricity, I'd probably tell tales out of school, but how I managed to do it without actually killing myself, I'm not sure. Because everything's wired in upside down at random. So some things are the right way up, some things are the wrong way up. The kitchen light switch is actually the wrong way up. And the circuit breaker that operates the lights is also the wrong way up for some reason. It's the only one that's the other way up. So putting it out of gear is actually, putting it out actually puts it in. So no idea about that, but the electrics here are, yeah, they're a work in progress. What else? Been thinking about making a steam clean wand for the steamroller. Just something you plug into a tap and steam clean stuff, which might be a very useful thing to have. But it's 200 psi, whereas most steam cleaners are a whole lot more than that, 10 times more than that, or 20 times more than that. And so buying a steam clean wand off the shelf and plugging it in isn't going to give it, it's only going to give us a bit of a dribble because they've got a pinhole in them, really. So if anyone sees anything about making a blowdown or a steam clean wand for a boiler at 200 psi, hit us up, give us some information, because I don't know how to do that. I think we're just going to make a wand up of some sort and put a hose on it. But it might be a very useful thing to have. No thoughts on that one. It's going to take some trial and error. Basically, yeah, make a pipe with a tap on it, or a tap with a pipe on it, and even just a ball valve, turn it on and off, and a bit of a handle to hold on to it doesn't get hot, and a bit of stainless tube with a thread on the end of it, and we make a screw-on cap, and we can take it out and run in the lathe and put an exercise drill through it until something happens. So that's sort of the theory. Probably you could just buy a wand from with an on-off valve and all that sort of stuff, a proper steam clean wand and a nozzle, and hook that up and do exactly the same thing. But I think they've got a fairly pinhole sort of a system in the trigger too. I don't know how that works. If anyone's ever had one apart, I'd be interested to hear. But I'm sort of thinking you'd probably just buy a Karcher or a Gurney wand, a decent one, and hook it up, see what happens, and drill it out till it works. Maybe not. Washout lamps would be handy too, but you want something a bit more volume with that. I think you want something to wash out 2-inch tubes, so you want something with a 1/2-inch hose in it, a 1/2-inch pipe sticking out, something like that, or an inch pipe, I think. Not sure, because having a pressure cleaner or a hose to wash out boilers is way easier than sweeping them up dry and vacuuming them. Maybe we just buy a Karcher and plug it in, but anyway. Sort of missing the steamroller. I'd love to get down there and spend some time on it, messing around. Really, I'm hanging out for that. I've got a week off at the end of the month, so I think it's the last weekend in November to about the 4th in December, so that weekend, which is about the 1st of December, that's going to be a live stream at Dan's place. It's going to be fun. So, Christian's birthday that week too. Oh, that's pretty exciting. We've organised some little Christmas presents for those boys down there that have been so helpful with organising things with the roller and getting things sorted out and messing around. And also organised some other things that to do with the channel, artwork and stuff, so that might be fun. You might hear about that in due course. Probably should do a mail out, because I've been really slack with that for 2 years, so I really haven't mailed out anything for 2 years. So at some point while I'm stuck here not doing anything else, I should actually sit down and post some stuff out. We're going to do a lot of messing around. So the ideal thing is to get this canopy on the steamroller and some decent canvas measured up to go on it, and just take it down and hook it all in place, and we've got a really nice, decent steamroller canopy and canvas that's going to keep the water out and the condensation out, and it's not going to lay around on anything and get back anything rusty or anything like that. So we've got all that planned out, and it should be fun, but a bit of work in it. What else is happening? Not sure. I'm sort of half bouncing off walls because I actually finally got my license back. It's quite an involved process, and it's my own stupid fault that I lost it. But I should have dealt with it a long time ago, but yeah, I wasn't really in a position to do so. So anyway, we fixed it. And if I dealt with it even 12, 18 months ago, no, if I dealt with it 5 years ago, I probably wouldn't have had this issue, but things just escalate and time passes on and you don't think about it. Anyway, it's all sorted. Got a bit of paper anyway. The other one's in the mail. A bit of plastic card, so we should be sorted. Last time it only took a week or something to get there, so hopefully this time it only takes that long as well. Didn't get my picture taken because my other license I had a pretty good picture, so we'll use that. Got my passport back too. I renewed that so I can travel, but no idea where or what or how I'm going to travel or where I'm going to go or what I'm going to do it with. So yeah. Yeah, I don't know about rolling to the pub and back. It doesn't sound like a particularly good sort of a system, but anyway, it's something we're probably going to do at some point. You just run over the police car and everything. The sort of roads they've got down that way, you just run him into a pothole and go over him a couple of times and you can't even see where he went. So, been messing with some ideas for writing alongside of the roller. It's probably just going to say E.J. Ritson road rolling contract or something like that. It was very, very boring. And it's on black with a roller that's red and predominantly red and silver grey, I think, if we're going to go there. I am hesitant to officially announce that it might end up photographic grey, but that's sort of how I'm feeling about it, because another black Fowler roller is a bit boring. There's lots of them. So photographic grey with a red and a black stripe, something like that might be really nice. And probably we might run the lettering along there with a bit of gold leaf. See how I'm feeling about that. I don't think we're going to get it done this next week off I just don't think that's going to happen. But the boards might come back with me and I might set them out here and spend some time and put them out on some trestles and spend some time lettering them up and go back down and put them back on. So that's the theory. And they might end up with some gold leaf and sort of a grey or I don't know, a yellow and red block on it, something like that. Might be a bit much, but I think it'll be all right. see how well the canopy turns out first. And see if Dan recovers from COVID. He may not yet. It might be the end of him. Anyway, don't know what else is happening. I don't really have any other real news. That's the things that I'm sort of thinking about at the moment, trying to get sorted, get organised. But there's always a list of things like that. Excuse me. Still having a dinner. We should head out and do that soon. I want to have a look through the classifieds and see if I can find a van. Go and look at one tomorrow night, maybe. Get that organised and get it sorted. I could transfer radio, rego and all that sort of stuff, registration and organise things in a set of tyres or whatever it's going to need before I end up down at Dan's shed for the week. Probably one of the biggest window I can possibly do to do all those sort of things. So we'll see how we go. Anyway, might cut this short. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Really appreciate your internet or online content. It's awesome to have YouTube to watch. And you guys seem to be making it. I'm not at the moment, but I'd like to be making videos. I'd like to have projects finished. I was thinking today there's so many things I'd really like to do. And sit down and actually make some progress on things, but there's nothing here that as far as workshop machinery, that's much good to any of the projects I've started. So we'll see how we go with that. And I may or may not have some workshop space to set some of my own stuff up if I'm going to stay around the coast. So there we go. That's a completely non-committal answer on that question. Anyway, I think I'm going to call it. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Sorry the content's been pretty ordinary the last few months and weeks. We should be able to make up to a bit soon. You feel better soon, Bill, and you too, David. Also, Dan, feel better. And be kind to each other. And we'll sort of give you some idea how it all works. Take care.